Hey there, let's go. NFT Sniper Bot. We got NFT Buffet here. We got a couple guests here. We got TJ and we have August here. And we're just, we have a little bit of an agenda, but not a crazy agenda, and maybe a couple special guests. Maybe special guests. Oh, there we go. How you doing,
There we go.
TJ?
Good. How are
So
you?
I'll go around the house, introduce everybody, and maybe we'll get back to talking NFTs and about Buffet's morning when he wakes up, what he's doing in the NFT world. So quick intro around the house. We got NFT Buffet, professional YouTuber, spaces, and radio host in the crypto and NFT space. We have TJ Thorne. We pulled him into this. I don't think he knows what he got involved in, so congratulations. And August Rosedale, he is a legit artist and the first artist I've seen to use OpenSea data mixed with pricing data for machine learning, artificial intelligence themed art, NFTs. And you could look him up. His projects, if you type Mirage Gallery, he has multiple projects. One is Crypto Native, and another is Alejandro and Taylor. And August, I mean, I love talking about August, and this whole episode is not just about August. But what I want to say is that his project has done extremely well. And what his project does differently than most is that it grows, or it goes through phases. If you buy a piece of August's art and it goes up by 20%, or it crosses a threshold of 0.2, at any which point after that it goes up by 20%, it goes into another phase of its art. Has up to 10 phases. And I mean, I've stuck to August and kind of glued to him because I think it's pretty cool what he does. So he's here for the conversation too. And, we may have some visitors coming in with different projects or whatnot. But for the most part, wanted to talk to Buffet and everybody about today's market. I mean, what's going on out there? Is it bullish? Is it bearish? And how do you keep up with all these Discord feeds? Tell me, Buffet.
All right. So before you we got on air, I will say that I was complaining about my full-time job, which is just going through all these Discords, and pretty much any project is going to have a Discord. So, I mean, if you have a plethora of NFTs, which I do, and I think we all are going to have in the NFT world, it's like, yo, you got to keep up on all the news, all the information, and kind of the one-stop shop for a lot of this stuff is the Discord. That's where a lot of the news is coming out. So I actually go through every morning and go through every single notification I have. It's like not a happy process, I will say, but it's like I gotta do it. And I write down all the information of all the dates and all the stuff that is coming out that I didn't know about, and keep up with all the projects that I'm interested in, because if I don't write it down and I just kind of put it in my memory box, my brain, I'm going to forget it. And there's so many different things going on that I need to keep track of my schedule, these NFT schedule, and then there's airdrops coming out. There's there's things that you need to mint. I've missed mints that were free because I just didn't know that they were available that weekend. And after that time has passed, you're SOL. So I think that it's definitely a thing to keep up on the news, to keep up on the Discord, keep up on these notifications. And to be completely honest, I went through and purged a bunch of Discords today, because if you're going to have that Discord and it's going to be a beacon of information and stuff like that, you need to be utilizing that. And I want to see that it's a Discord that I need to be in, because the community, the culture, all the information can be in that hub, and if you use it, it's a great tool for you. But if you just kind of let it be annoying, then unfortunately I'm not going to spend any time there, and I'm not going to want to be there. And I'll check the announcements, but if your community grows, it's probably going to grow in your Discord and your Twitter, and the combinations between those worlds. So I would say it's a skill set to understand Discord and to be able to navigate it, because me as a gamer from the past, that's how I got into Discord. And I know a lot of people come into the space, they don't want to download a new app, or they don't want to learn a new platform, but you just got to understand that this is a communication tool, and the way that the space works right now, you got to be able to utilize this as a way to get information and news, and it's a hub. So I check my hub every morning for news, check my notifications, see what's going on, write all that stuff down, because I gotta know what's happening today in the market as well as what's coming up. And in between those two different times is when I'm going to make my trades kind of happen. because it's time and it's money. What's something worth today? What's on the horizon? I'm playing short and long and kind of in between those two things, and I need to know how long my money is going to sit into some place and where I need to be ready to have stuff. So like I got caught this week with no liquid on some stuff, and it's like now I can't sell out, or if I want to, I'm going to be down on a lot of stuff. So I kind of I was with my parents, I was slacking on my NFT stuff, but you got to just get in a habit of checking that stuff and getting a routine, because this is your life. This is what you should be doing. This stuff's all important, and even though it's just Discord notifications, it's like there's a lot of news, a lot of information in there. So that's my morning routine.
I want to just say that's your morning routine. I don't know what morning is. I don't know what noon is. I don't know what nighttime is. It's all blended together. I did bring TJ on and August on, to really just talk about the artist journey. And we're going to talk about that in a second. Before we do that, I feel like I'm going to continue on a Buffet's thread, the life of an NFT trader, like, because you really have two aggressive NFT traders at the top of the screen here. And I'm going to think about my morning the other morning. I went to sleep. When my kids went to sleep, I always feel like I'm missing stuff when I sleep. Dude, there's stuff to be missed. This doesn't happen every night, but the NFT gods woke me out of my sleep. I came down to the rig. I call it a rig because it's legit rig that I have here. It's like a gaming computer with 3 monitors. I come down to the rig, and someone I met in Decentraland pinged me 10 times to go buy those lonely frogs. He's like, dude, they're free. They changed the mint. So what had happened was there were 10,000 lonely frogs. They only sold like 900 at 0.04. The lonely frogs weren't moving. So the founders said, hey, we're just going to give the rest away. You could just go mint them from the contract. So this guy's telling me to do it. They're like 7,000 deep of the 10,000. I was like, all right, I'll get 5. That's like my number. If I'm minting something, I like to get 5 of something usually. And like very ape-like of me. And instead of doing 5, I did 5. And then I was like, what if this is one of those rare opportunities? So I did 65. I took 65 down. It cost me like $3,300 US gas. And these things are at like 0.14 right now. I've been selling them. I mean, like I have a bunch of them. I'm holding a bunch because I like them long term. But like I'm selling them. You're talking about liquidity. I'm selling them for liquidity. Like, I've learned enough to know don't get married to these things. I don't need 65 of anything in my wallet. Trim that down to 30, trim off some profit, use that liquidity. I bought a mutant cat. Apparently, I bought the bottom of the mutant cats because then they started rallying after I bought them. People told me they delisted when they saw that sniper bought one. So I was kind of flattered. I feel like I said, I'm semi-pro and I'm like semi-famous. So anyway, let's talk about these guys who are, plan to be a lot more famous than me. So we have August Rosedale, which I hope it's okay to say you're in your last year of college. Is that right?
Yep. I'll be graduating in June.
Cool. And then TJ, we talked a little bit off air about your background, but could you share a little bit about your background, and then we'll talk about the conversation that spawned this today?
Yeah, I am a nature photographer. Kind of just getting into minting my stuff in the NFT world. I had a collection of 100 water abstracts that I minted and sold on August 3rd. And kind of what I've been waiting for to jump on my next collection is exactly what kind of spawned this conversation, a custom contract for artists, and kind of learning the benefits, the pros and cons, and how to do that, because I don't think there's a lot of information that's out there about that.
It's just such a great topic. So we were on a Spaces today with DZ, and as he only had like he had 10 minutes left, but I brought up the conversation. I said, hey, DZ, let me ask you, am I being rude with Sniper being rude? Is Sniper being rude when? No, just kidding. I said, sometimes artists come to me and they say, hey, what do you think of my art? What do you think of my collection? And the first thing I do is I check to see if they have a contract on OpenSea. And if they don't have to check to see if they have a Solidity contract. My apologies. I pull up their art. I go to the details. I look for the contract of the NFT. I go look at Etherscan. I click on contract. And if I see like a piece of code, like Solidity code, I dig in a little bit further. If I see that this person just uploaded their picture to OpenSea, there's a very easy way to see that. I usually, walk in the other direction and say, hey, I'm not really interested right now. There's a long story and a long way of how in 3 months, how I've learned to discover and understand this. But I brought this up and said to DZ, I said, if someone doesn't have their own Solidity contract is it rude for me to say, hey, you should learn Solidity, you should team up with a developer, or you should team up with the team? And I said, is it rude? And they were like, no, it's not rude because you're being brutally honest. And I think that we have some expertise here that can maybe comment on it, maybe Buffet. And we certainly have the technical expertise from August. August, you know that the first question I asked you, remember? I said, hey, is this on its own contract?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so all the stuff I've done on my own contract. I was kind of at the beginning when I first did that. The first project I was doing was not as technical in the sense that they don't evolve like the newer crypto native one, but I still did want my own contract just to have. I was kind of thinking like, well, if someone's trying to scam somebody and they're trying to pretend to be my AI artists, it would be easier to trick somebody into buying one if they were minted on the same contract, right? And if I do my own contract, I kind of solve that problem entirely. So people could still try to sell the same pieces and pretend to be the artist, but off the bat, they'll be on a different contract, which will kind of just be easier to spot and not fall for if you are a buyer. But then the newer project, the crypto native project, I wanted to do my own contract also because I wanted to have minting through my site. And if you do it on the OpenSea contract, you pretty much just mint them to yourself and then sell them. Where if you have your own contract, you can do the things that allow people to mint through your site and pay a mint fee, and then go on to OpenSea pretty much for the secondary sales to start happening. And the majority of the volume for crypto native is in the secondary sales because that's when the pieces can evolve, right? They all start at phase one. So that's kind of been the fun aspect.
Yeah, this looks amazing. I love all these developing and technical aspects because I can't do it myself, but I know it's really important, and I agree with everything you're saying. So to hear it from you is just like, yep, that all sounds right on board with what I think. So that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I think, is he looking at it right now?
Yeah, that's the contract. It's pretty much the thing with these NFT contracts is they're all quite similar when there's not a ton of complexities that are happening on chain. I pretty much did it in a pretty standard way, and I added a few functions here and there that I wanted to do for how I was going to mint and if I was going to be able to stop minting and reserve some pieces, and then airdrop some pieces. So I added in some functions for that. But besides that, it's a super standard contract because the evolving is still happening off chain because of some issues with if I was going to put, some people were hoping that the AI models would be on chain and creating the art entirely on chain. And I was explaining there are 3 different data sets, each with 10 different models for the different phases. And each one of those is 330 megabytes. So it's 30 models total. And even putting one of those on chain would be about 40 ETH every time you get data from it or deploy it. So there's, with Ethereum, there are still difficulties with doing things with big amounts of data. So the evolving, I'm doing off chain, and I'm pretty much just pulling from the OpenSea API to see when a sale happens, check the sale price, see if it fits the requirements, and then it's just updating the metadata to update the image and the phase number and the properties.
Yeah, this looks super sick. Did you have a background in developing, or how did you find your way to be able to using the Solidity or how do you say? I always mess it up.
Yes. So it's kind of just been a big learning experience. I've always been somewhat or like pretty technical and figuring out like for all the AI stuff I was doing before the Solidity stuff, and with the AI training, it's all open source, right? Because I mean, the people who are coding that from scratch are, have PhDs. So the stuff that I was doing it for the training is open source, but you still have to have some technical skills in order to actually look at the GitHub and have any idea how to actually get that to actually do anything for you. And then running it on cloud computers, I put my own data sets together. I was kind of just figuring all this out, and then I started looking into Solidity just by looking at other contracts. And the contract that I did, I coded the functions that I added in, I did myself, but they're very straightforward. But I kind of was just looking at it and figuring it out, and then I figured out how to do the HTML integration to have minting through my site. And that was pretty straightforward too. You kind of just have to, like, I've done a little bit of coding here and there, but it's definitely just been a experience of trying everything out and just seeing how it goes, you know?
Yeah. Hey, what's going on? We got Veritas and Samurai in the house. How's it going, gentlemen?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah. Samurai,
Sorry
how's it
to leave
going?
you guys hanging like that. Sorry about that. I was trying to get
Fantastic.
that link
Buffet,
out.
August, Veritas, TJ, Sniper. How's everybody going?
How's it going,
Good,
man?
good.
Before we proceed, everybody, I hope here follows NFT SniperBot on Twitter and in the audience. And if right now you could all retweet what I just put, it's the YouTube live stream.
Cool.
Samurai, I didn't know if you were joining, so I didn't add your name there. But
That's fine. I
does
was
every-
late. My puppy was running.
I want to try to get a bunch of viewers while we're talking here. So if you could all retweet that, that'd be great. And then let's continue.
I'm gonna post it in my Discord.
Cool. Oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to post it in my Discord too. Chibi Ape Discord. August, we should post it in your Discord too.
Yep, I'll do
I'll
that
disappear.
right now.
Go do some of that in the background.
I'll post it in my Discord too.
We have a special role for NFT SniperBot in our Discord. We came up with it. Our project's called Blockchain Badlands, so we came up with Badlander Big Shot for him in our Discord. He loved that one. I'm totally for cheap marketing gimmicks, so he loved that one.
I love that. I'm all about the fun times. What were you guys up to before this? Just hanging out, or?
Always up to something, man. I've been trying to make plays and have a great day. Just apparently, we just had the reveal for the Chibi Apes that are gonna have Decentraland, and we're gonna have it fully built out. And there's a bunch of really interesting things going on with that. And then there's a secondary platform that we're working on other than Sandbox called Leap-In. So there's a lot going on in that regard.
All right, Leap In. That sounds dope. What about you, Veritas?
I've literally just got off work and kind of rushed home to hop on here. But I've been dealing with kind of an interesting issue today. One of our community members had sent me a post of somebody that has like kind of a scam lookout website that they had mentioned us on because of how fast like our Twitter following and Discord following grew. And we have done a lot of giveaways. We spent $40,000 on giveaways, which we're not afraid to say. And our giveaways were all gaming consoles and NFTs. And then this person, I think they were misunderstanding the giveaways because they thought we were targeting some of those cash giveaways, like, win $100 if you do this. We didn't do any cash giveaways at all. And they were trying to make it seem like, disenfranchised people from poorer countries participate in these and they're not NFT buyers or gamers. And I was like, you can see the proof on our Twitter page of every single person that's won that we've shipped these out to. Every giveaway we've done has been an NFT because we're focusing on NFTs and gamers. Like that was the idea behind it all. So, it just kind of sucks. And I was really, upset about this because like the co-founder Taylor and I have literally put our entire savings and livelihood into this. And we want this to be the career for the rest of our lives. So like, seeing something like that pop up really sucks when you know that rug pulls and nefarious stuff is going on, but then you have two guys that are both family guys that took their savings and have aggressively tried to do this, get kind of put into the same boat. So we've just been trying to problem solve that and figure out how to get things cleared up. I asked the guy to do an interview with him, and I was like, my face is out there. I was like, I'll tell you where I live. I was like, nothing about this project has been, under wraps at all. And just the fact that we had a fast growing of Twitter and a fast growing of Discord doesn't mean that you get to blanket us in with, these other projects. Sorry, I'm just going to try and share NFT's
Samurai,
SniperBot's post.
Samurai, I think you're muted.
Yo,
I was
I'm back.
a second there.
Back.
I
I'm
was
actually
gonna
back.
say,
On that topic. Oh, sorry to jump in. Am I allowed to share what you said back to me? Because I was kind of fighting for you on this, Veritas.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I had to reach out to you for help because I wrote the guy 5 messages and he didn't respond to me at all. Where I was like, I'll give you my phone number. I was like, I'll give you whatever you want. And then as soon as you wrote him, he wrote you back instantly. And I was
That's
like,
crazy.
of course,
Don't
and then
flatter me.
yeah, I was pissed off about that, but I was really glad that I connected with you. That it's like someone like you could give a vouch for us where,
Which is
we've
kind of
literally.
scary, actually, because I wasn't there for the transactions, but I just, the back of my, I have instinct. I know that you guys are pouring your heart and soul into this and your paychecks.
So I don't know, it just sucks that, the ability for someone online to affect a project like ours without doing good due diligence on it and without giving me the chance to even ask, if they were going to put me on this list, at least reach out to me and let me even ask or say, hey, can I speak with one of the devs on this? Before Patrick Wheeland made a video about us, he was like, hey, I have to talk to you on the phone. Is that like going to be a problem for you? And I was like, no, absolutely. I'd love for you to talk to me on the phone. He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm not going to push any project that I can't speak to the co-founder on the phone with. And I was like, exactly. I was like, that's fine. So, for someone to blast off, some sort of like scam announcement without taking the time to even reach out to a dev on the project to see if they would talk to you one-on-one, to me is kind of BS, because SniperBot sees me in spaces every single night. I'm out there trying to grind and talk to people and stuff like that. So, it just kind of is upsetting.
Veritas, if I could speak on this a little bit, I've seen a couple of projects come and go. I've seen a couple of projects that got called FUD or that got called the rug pull that weren't. And I think that the thing that you have in your favor, besides obviously SniperBot that you already mentioned, is your community, the people that care about your project. And I think that that's the reason why we always overemphasize the fact that community is the core foundation for any project, because it doesn't matter what happens to you as the founder. The community could carry a project forever. It doesn't matter what happens to the artist or what happens to the guy who wrote the code. The community could carry it. But if there's no community, the artists, the devs, the fucking founders, everybody could drag it as far as they want to. It's going to die as soon as they let it go. So
That's a great point.
Yeah, that's why I always, every single group I'm in, if I hear people just fudding or talking shit even, or if it's kind of toxic and people are just bantering as opposed to kind of uplifting each other, that's a really good sign that that community is either immature or might not make it, right? If they're easily fractured over issues and they can't kind of coalesce, or if the devs do really dumb things, like can I shout out the Galactic Space Geckos for being the dumbest project of the year, for going out of their way to hire an attorney that doesn't know jack shit about crypto and blasting all of those other projects. Like, do you guys see what that was about? How they put out their attorney put out a statement saying all of these projects on this particular platform. I'm not going to name it because I don't want to FUD it any more than it already did. But all these projects that are on this particular Solana platform are all securities, but we're not because we said we're a security. And it's just like, yo, what the fuck are you even doing? Like, first of all, you don't even know that you're a security because the SEC hasn't said you're a security yet. It's like, what are you doing? And then they're going and pointing fingers at everybody else. It's like the kid at the party who's not having fun anymore. So they call the police, So that's the reason why you got to have good community members, and then people like you, Veritas, that care about their project. August, you give a fuck about your project, right? Pardon my French. It's important that you have people that on the community side and on the development side, autistic side, whatever you want to call it, that come together and that really bring it as a whole project. I'm gonna stop talking. That's just my rant on that. I've been seeing stuff.
I mean, it's a slippery slope, because like I do think the guy is trying to do something good and protect people trying to buy NFTs from, predatory sorts of NFTs, like which we all agree is a great thing, and awareness in the community to help people make smarter buys, I think overall helps us all, because none of us, like. Rug pulls is a true thing that happens in this community every day. We all have to be smart. We all have to be educated and stuff like that. But as much as you can call someone guilty, you got to be careful about the innocence that you call guilty as well. Where people are actually trying to pour their heart and soul into this. Me and Taylor are both dads that have done everything for this project. Our bio on our site talks about how we're just family guys trying to figure this out. So like we're at risk too.
Well, yeah, that's why I think like these things are so important. When you see the actual humans that are connected to projects, that makes it really easy for me to like, buy into August or buy into TJ or buy into, you or your guys' project. Cause it's like, I don't mess around with these kind of rug pull projects or anything that's wishy-washy or iffy like that, because it's like, I want to attach myself to the community that Samurai was talking about, and the community you guys are making. What is a community but just a collection of humans? You know what I mean? Loving art, loving whatever the project is. So that's why I love these coming and talking out and getting to meet the creators, getting to meet the developers, getting to meet the artists, because it's like then makes it easier for me to go out and talk about things that I like, and easier for me to buy projects that I like, and support artists and support photographers and support all those things, because it's like it's one thing that guy, like you said, that what they're doing is good. I like, it's like, we want to support, we don't want people losing money. Like, I don't want people, getting rugged. And so I think that the inner core thing is smart what they're trying to do, but at the same time, they're probably not doing their research as well. And then creating more problems by what they're doing. So it's just like, they're not like, you gotta be responsible for what you put out there in this world, and on the internet, and on the blockchain, everything is out there on the open. So I will support people that I communicate with, and I'm out there in the open, talking about their stuff. And it's just like, I like you guys. Like, I'm not buying some mystery NFT project. I'm buying Verita. I talked to them. Or I bought August. Like I bought TJ's photography. It's like I bought Sniper's Chibi project. It's like all those people I know. It's an NFT, but it's a relationship, and it's a community. And so that's what I really like. Is I get the yin and the yang here. I get to have fun buying the art, the token, the membership, the access, the asset, all that. But then I make friends, and then I'm having a ball, and it's like, this is the beginnings of a relationship that we're all going to have as NFT culture and NFT people and NFT community. So that's what I like to buy in. Is it's the art's there, the tokens are there, the fun is there, and it's like I want to have fun with communities, and that's why you got to go in that Discord, you got to hang out on Twitter, you got to find the spaces, you got to watch these videos, you got to feel out really what people are about, because you're not there shaking hands with them, actually talking with them like in real life. So you got to make these assessments virtually, and that's just the reality of our world, and especially the reality of NFT and blockchain is like, we live in the metaverse, so we're gonna have to adapt and learn through the metaverse. And so I'm gonna buy and participate in things that I really like, and that's my own personal opinion. But you can do that and make money and have fun, and you'll just be like, wow, this is one of the best worlds that I've ever come across, because all these relationships and all these things that you're doing is so fun, and all these people you meet is so good. So that's what I really like about these things, and meeting people and talking about this stuff. So there's something for everybody. There's stuff for developers, photographers, artists. If you're a gamer, if you're just a trader, if you just want to have fun, if you're just looking for some places to hang out, we're here. I've met people, they're like, I haven't met anybody like you before. I was like, get on Twitter, get on the internet, meet some of these NFT people, we're fun, we're weird, we're doing cool things. So I encourage, and I'm so glad to meet all you guys today, because I know we're just going to spread like wildfire out and meet even more people, and our NFT family will grow and grow. So even though we're all different, coming from different backgrounds today, we're all here talking about NFTs, and we all have a purpose, and we all have, a fun time to do it. So these are the things that I really like about this community and about projects. And so if I was to transition into like what you do with your project, or what are you trying to do with your project, or what kind of projects are you trying to buy, it's like, boom, Veritas, I know him, I know everything about his project, and I can look into it, and I also know the person. August, everything I look on that OpenSea page, I can reflect back to everything he's talked to me about, and all the education, all the things about him. TJ, I can look at his photos, but then I can also look at, you know, what he's done as a person in his whole career. So when I'm buying NFTs or I'm buying community, yeah, I see the picture, yeah, I see the token, but I see the person in the macro vision of what they're trying to do. And I'm like, I'm buying into the person, the project, the program, all of it. I'm buying into passionate people. I'm buying into stuff that I'm excited about. So where am I putting my money? Yo, where am I excited? Where are people that get me excited? Who gets me jacked? I'm putting my money where it's fun. So
Absolutely. One thing that I'd like to bring up that was related to a conversation we had earlier is like about Discord. So, Taylor and I, the co-founder of this project, we started the project, we had, done the artwork, and we had planned to make a video game, and then we kind of changed gears and decided that we wanted to focus on empowering gamers and stuff. But like one thing I saw, like once we started launching and started doing the marketing, is that like we didn't know anything about how to like manage a Discord correctly, how to set up the information in your Discord to be easily accessible, digestible, to give the people what they want quickly. And so, I come from a marketing background. I work in marketing automation. I've been doing it for, over 10 years. And like one thing with website design is you have to focus on usability. You have to focus on conversion rates. You have to focus on the way people use your site. I never realized that the usability of your Discord is going to be paramount in the success of your project. And so that I feel like is something that we stumbled on early on, that we didn't lay out the foundation in place to make like, the tabs at the top of your Discord very easy to read, and the important dates and the important sections and stuff like that. So that was a learning process for us. The second thing that I'll say, bar none, is joining spaces is by far, in my mind, the way to catapult your project into oblivion, because we have done tons of paid promotion where we've done our giveaways, we've done all kinds of stuff. We've given away $40,000 worth of stuff, but like, we didn't meet people like SniperBot until I hop into his spaces and he calls me up randomly and he's like, "What do you got for us?" And I was like really nervous. I was kind of new to talking in spaces, and I just told him about my idea. And I'd been following SniperBot for a while. I'd never talked to him because I never wanted to join in that sort of way. But when I got to talk to him about it, he was like, "All right, it makes sense." And then he's become like a super good friend in this. He's been supportive of us. He'll hop into our Discord, our spaces, stuff like that. And then even today, with having that problem with that person, that person only responded to me after SniperBot reached out to them. So anybody that is trying to launch their project and trying to get out there, I would so highly encourage you to get out in spaces and talk to the people that are out there and let yourself be known, because you can go so much farther connecting with people on a personal level with your project than just people having to read it on your site or having to put in the legwork. So Twitter spaces are so powerful for accomplishing that.
I would say we're all here from Twitter Spaces. All of us are here from Twitter Spaces.
I met
Basically.
Sniper in Twitter. I met Buffet in Twitter Spaces. I met August in Twitter Spaces. Yeah.
It's where the magic happens.
But like, where do you find that? If like, you're a dev trying to launch your project, that's not information that's just widely accessible. Everyone's like, great art, great roadmap, great utility. That's going to take you far. It's like, no, put in your work in Twitter Spaces. That'll take you far.
You know why?
Like,
because nobody's produced any metrics for how many more sales you get on a project following a Spaces premiere. If you're at a Spaces with more than 100 people, I guarantee you, if you have a good sales pitch, you'll leave with at least 2 people buying into that project. Even if they just flip it and sell it later and they're paper handed, right?
yeah,
Where do you go where you get a 2% engagement rate for a few minutes for free?
for free. And
if you, I was gonna say, granted it was the beginning of August, so that's basically like 10 years ago in this space.
Oh my God!
But I didn't sell a single one of my NFTs, and I had just, I joined Twitter in 2014, but I never used it. So I just started using it for NFTs. I had like 200 followers. But I made connections. I got in with these. I'm, trying to ramp up excitement about my collection. Nothing's happening. It launches, nothing happens. And then I do my space with these. He gave me a platform and he gave me an audience, and I sold it out in under 3 hours. 100 of my images for
Dude, congrats.
Thank you. So, I completely agree with that. And like, all of the relationships that I have built have been solidified in spaces.
How many people were in that space that night?
Like 200, 300, I think.
So you're telling me you guys sold out a 100-piece project to 200 people?
That's crazy.
You had 50% of the people in that space buy into your project. Not because Dee's told them to, but because you had a platform there to be able to do that.
I had an audience, I had a platform, and I was able to tell my story. And I have like over 70 unique holders of 100 images. So,
wow.
So yeah, I mean, and this was like a long time ago. Like at that point, Dee's had like 9,000, 7,000 followers. Now he has like 80 some thousand, I think. So a lot of things have changed, but yeah, Twitter Spaces is where the magic happens. It's where it gives you the ability to talk about the things that are important to you, to talk about the project, because Twitter sucks for text. You have to do threads, and we all know how short attention spans are, especially on Twitter. So you're not going to be like, it's not very likely that a lot of people are going to read a thread about your work. So Twitter Spaces is where you make that happen.
And even aside from your project, this happened to me. I don't know if SniperBot was in the one where this happened, where I wanted to talk about a project that I liked. It's totally separate. This is a project that I've been supporting since early September. A project called Who is Veronica, and this guy does these NFTs that are the like images of these dolls. And so I'm in a spaces with probably about maybe 10 people. It was a late night one. Like me and SniperBot, I think we're in there at like 3 a.m. And so people are like, yeah, talk about it, because I was like, hey, if there's nothing to talk about, I can tell you about a project I like just because I like it. And so I start describing the artwork, and then 2 people requested to speak just to say they bought from his collection, which they're all individual 1/1s, like amazing artwork. And I've been talking. It's Who is Veronica? Like, wait till you see this artwork. They're amazing 1/1s. They're just they're incredible. It's either Who is Veronica or Who is Vivian. Either one.
Same thing, right?
Yeah, it's the same one. I think because it goes by both, but let me see. I think try Who is Veronica. If not, I can pin it on my page and you can check it out from there.
Okay. We'll go look at Chibi Apes. Let's see how we're doing.
But like the guy is super cool, just an artist trying to make a name for himself, which I think is really hard in the NFT space without a marketing team behind you. So this guy, I found him just because I loved his artwork, and then 2 people bought from his collection, which they're not cheap. They're like, the 2 sales were 0.6 and 0.8 ETH and stuff like that. And that all happened just because we were shooting the shit, and I was like, this project is sick. You guys should check it out. And then 2 people live right on the spaces went and bought it, and I was like, that is so cool. That is super sick. SniperBot, give me 1 sec. Let me pin it to my profile, and then you can click them from there.
Is that weird? I have to go look at your.
Yeah, you can just look at my Twitter. I'll pin it to the top. Let me find it.
Yeah, I think if you are trying to find people interested in your project, it's one thing. It's like if there's 100 people, and those 100 people are just 100 people, but if those 100 people are NFT people, that's what you need. You need to get in front of NFT people. And where are NFT people? They're in spaces. So that's what I think. It's like, if you could pay you could pay a marketer or somebody to blast out a tweet or to do some thing, but if it's not getting to the people who want these, then that's what I think should be, that's why the value of the spaces. It's like you're walking into a digital NFT bar that everybody in there speaks the same language as you. So that's why I think, and if you don't know about those things, it's like slowly you just got to figure it out. It's like, God, I got to hang out in these places. It's weird, but it's the smallest tiny little metaverse. So you have a tiny avatar and you're a voice, but the human humans convey a lot of information in that voice. So it's like I can tell a lot about your project just by listening to you. And I want to. So that's why I hang out in spaces all the time. Like
Well
you said,
said.
text is text, but hearing somebody's tone and be like, oh, this guy's passionate about this project rocks. Like I can tell this.
And Sniper, I just DM'd you the OpenSea one. I can also, I'll throw a tweet for it too.
No, don't DM me because I can't get to that link.
Okay,
Do it.
I'll do the tweet.
August, what's your experience with your community? You're the only person I haven't heard from since I got on this call.
Yeah, so I pretty much started the Discord right when I did the drop for the mint for crypto natives. So that was right at the end of August or beginning of September. Someone just asked, "Hey, do you have a Discord?" And I was like, "Well, if people are asking, I guess I should make one." So I made one. I think I have about 270 like members in here right now, and it's pretty fun because it's definitely, I've seen it kind of go in these waves of like just people chatting all the time, and then like little slow down a little bit, and then people be talking again. But it's super fun to see people talking about the project and asking people, like helping each other and explaining it, because the project, as you guys know, is a little bit different from a more standard project just because of the evolving aspects. So people often have questions about the technical details, and it's always fun to see other people like answering people's questions and just kind of helping, even though like, they don't have to do that or anything. And I think this project has definitely started to build a community, and definitely part of the goal to keep it going as I keep trying to expand Mirage Gallery with my future ideas.
Well, we look forward to it. I posted in the YouTube video link a copy of your Discord, a link to your Discord invite. So that way, if anybody's interested in seeing the Discord we were just referring to, definitely go check that out. That's from Team Brokeoff. That's an official link. That's not a dangerous link.
Looks like you got the collection up there, SniperBot.
What you showing off there, SniperBot? You know,
Hey, what are we looking at here?
Sharing your screen right now.
Are you
You're
showing
all
off
the
your source
information.
code? You bragging about your source code?
I think he's trying to get the contact address for these collectible dolls. Who is Veronica? He's doing some research. What are you doing, Sniper? What you sharing your screen for?
Yeah, I mean, if we just start
you
seeing
guys-
him
oh, I
booking
didn't-
hotels.
That'd be weird. Sorry, I didn't realize you guys couldn't hear me. So I went to the contract address. I clicked on the contract address. I ended up here. I click on contract. It's on the OpenSea contract. If it looks like this, it's on the OpenSea contract. So I'm not going to say too much, but because clearly many people have sold many pictures on the OpenSea contract. That's fine, but it becomes something less interesting to me.
Is that because you can't evolve it all with it in the future?
No, that's because it's the way that it came to be. Watch, if I really wanted to. Ooh, I don't want you guys to see that.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
Yeah, seriously. Sharing my screen. It's enough.
Yeah, just share the window, not the
It
whole
said
screen.
Mark Cuban and Chibi Ape. So, I mean, Mark Cuban and Chibi Ape sounds like a very good thing to share.
That's solid.
On YouTube stream with 24 people. But you know what? Let's pretend everybody didn't see that. Shh.
Yeah. Was that a plant?
I was just gonna say the same thing. I was like, Sniper would totally have someone text him and then just be like, "Oh, you guys were not supposed to see that."
Yeah. Hey, Sniper, where's your other phone at?
Did they see the Cuban thing? Did they see it though? Okay, I got it off. All right. Yeah.
You see the Venmo payment too? It just goes out $20.
Yeah. We're just seeing the payments to his wallet right now.
What phones? What phones, baby? What phones?
It's from Mark Cuban saying, "Where's my money?"
Where's my money for that shout out you just made?
He's like, "Where's my Chibi Ape at?"
Where's my
No,
chibi
come on,
ape?
I'm starting a lot of rumors here. I did write him. For everyone that doesn't know, I wrote to Mark Cuban. My team made fun of me because I was like, "Oh, he's going to reply to me," and they laughed at me, and he wrote back 2 hours later, and then we got into like a meaningful dialogue, which I'm happy about. I'm going to follow up on when I have something meaningful to show them. I mean, like we're a project of 3,000 units at 0.025 min price. We're like pretty small from our qubit. I mean, let's think about that, right? 70, you know, and I'm proud to say we're 6x or 7x on our mint price or in that zone right now. And I'm super proud of that, you know, and I think we're strong, even though our product hasn't gone up to multiple ETH. I think we're super strong. And we're due. We have a lot of good news coming out. The Decentraland thing, locking it up with Last Slice and getting getting a really solid plan together for Last Slice, and what we're doing now with Leap-N and all the other metaverse stuff that's coming. I think we're a steal, you know, not to show my own stuff, but I think we're a steal on the market. I mean, if it was socially acceptable, I would just sweep the entire floor right now. But I just don't think it's a good look for the founder to do that, you know. Unless you guys tell me it's okay, I'll do it right now.
I think it presents a lot of questions, though. You know, like I don't know that I'm mad about that when I buy into a project and I see that happening. I mean, if the project,
mad about it,
like if I buy into a project and the owners are sweeping the floor, I'm not seeing that as a negative thing. Like, you know,
okay, that's not a negative.
I don't think so. I mean, I think it shows confidence, and I think it gives the community more stuff to be proud of. You know, because I know that floors are such a common talking point, and you know they want to see that you're personally invested and stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't think it's horrible.
Sniper, I can tell you right now, nobody gives a fuck if a project's
Yeah,
floor.
I don't think so.
No, nobody cares. Nobody cares in a negative way. Everybody cares in a positive way. If you're buying up the floor, that means the floor price goes up. Nobody doesn't want a floor price to go up.
Exactly.
Every single project, people want the floor price to go up. So if you're providing that as like a sub-utility, as almost like a benefit to the holders to know that you won't let the floor drop below a certain rate because you value the project at that high level.
There is a number that I won't let it drop. But
I know that, and people know that number probably too because they've never seen it drop below that. So people know that. People see that shit. That's why all the people that I know that are chibi holders haven't sold out.
The question with 1,600 holders, who's really playing the long-term game? And there still are flippers, so you can't fault them. I mean, you see that fat finger last night? Someone, instead of selling it for 0.18, they sold something for 0.018. Like,
no,
that's the worst.
So many zeros.
Someone's fingers need a diet, and
hey,
you know,
turning me into sausage?
No, I'm just saying, you know, so there's no, but I bring that up because the WETH bidders, you know, there's always a WETH bid on every project. If there's some, I'm almost flattered.
No,
when we get the WETH bids, I'm flattered that we're getting WETH.
Let's be clear. Not all projects have WETH bids. And that's how you can tell if the floor is getting bought up quickly. If you could put something on the floor or at below the floor and it gets bought up within 12 hours, that's how you know a floor is hot, right? It's maybe not be lava, but it's hot. If you have WETH bids, that's how you know a project has legs. That means people are wanting to pick this thing up. And it's easy to see who the ones that are bidding it. It's not you. It's not Spasta. It's not Fabs. So who the fuck is putting in these bids for these projects and why? And the fact is, somebody,
for sure.
The guy who runs the bot understands that Chibi Apes has value, and that's the point. These guys don't waste their WETH on projects that don't have the potential. They're buying something because they know it's going to pop.
Let's talk about something else. So, you know, Sniper can get to what Sniper has to do. You know, but I love that. That's good value. That's good alpha. And yeah, that's, you know, I guess, you know, my next question, we've been all over the place. Does anyone want to go back to where we started, which was how do we get TJ the advice he needs if he wants to go to the next direction? I think August would be sharing this advice. What do we tell TJ if he wants to get more involved with Solidity contracts and to take his project in that direction?
Well, so before you guys get into this, I just want to say, like, you know, I think it's safe to say that most artists, it's going to be completely out of left field for them. You know, coming from the BSC side of things, like, you know, I think I know that, like, I'm worried about, like, if I'm going to be hiring someone to do a contract or to deploy a contract or anything, like, I don't know what to look for in the contract to see if they're doing anything sneaky. So obviously it's going to have to be somebody that is reputable, that has a reputation worth, you know, that could be ruined. And the only thing that I see out there is Manifold. They were talking about doing like a custom contract creator. So I don't know what kind of education they have built behind that, but for somebody that an artist that spends a lot of time in the NFT space, for that to be the only thing that I see that is kind of like being geared towards artists and creating custom contracts for them so that they're not on the OpenSea contract, I think there's just so much opportunity, not for just an end product for artists to deploy and put in, but also the education piece that goes into it. Like, why is a custom contract a good idea? Why is having your stuff on OpenSea a bad idea? And none of that is really being talked about that I'm seeing. So I think there's a starting point there to, like, number one, educate artists on the whys, and then also somehow get a contract in their hands that they can trust.
Some of the stuff that I've seen other people talking about for why they look for people having their own contract. I've seen people talking about that they feel like when an artist has their own contract, they have a little bit more invested in the project, because not just getting the contract done, because all these NFT contracts are very similar. So you can very easily just pretty much copy and paste a contract and deploy it without doing much coding. But the fact that you deployed that still costs gas, and often it's still a decent bit to deploy a contract on Ethereum. So that kind of sometimes shows like, oh, well, they're putting some time on this. They're spending money to get this project out there, compared to minting it through a public shared contract. Can be a little bit cheaper, obviously. That's part of the good thing, but there's also plenty of downsides for doing it with a shared contract. Like, I knew I couldn't do that for crypto native, because if you were trying to do any bigger number of pieces, it would be super hard, because I'm sure you experienced with the OpenSea one, you have to upload each picture and each thing one by one. So if you were doing a ton, that's going to be horrible. And you're not able to let people mint through your site like has been somewhat standard for some of these projects, because you pretty much, with the OpenSea contract, you create the item and then you sell it, but the item's been created. Where the ones that mint through a site, you're actually creating the token when you do that, and then you're getting it, and then you can go try to get a secondary sale on OpenSea. So it's kind of the main things for if you're not trying to do a technical thing, but you just want it to be the same, but your own. I think those are the ups and downs. And then what I was also saying earlier is it's much easier to defend yourself from having someone trying to pretend to be you and sell your stuff, because their tokens that they're trying to copy you and sell the same stuff, it'll be from a different contract. So anyone who's looking into buying it should know this is not the actual contract. But if you do it from OpenSea, someone else could also do it from OpenSea and then try to copy you, and then it's actually from the same contract. So then it's like a little the person who might fall for it, it's a little bit harder for them to try to figure it out,
Isn't there also... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, that's a great point. That's how the scammers do it. The scammers just go on OpenSea, upload pictures of the other ones, and then people are clicking off of those. So it's like, if it can be created that instantly by someone just uploading it. Okay, I say this with all due respect, because I don't want to insult anybody, because there's a lot of beautiful art and everything. It doesn't interest me as an NFT computer digital art collector. I'm not interested with something that's on OpenSea's contract. For the most part, that's not what I'm chasing down. And I'm going to explain why. The reason why I'm not interested in that, thank you. The reason why I'm not interested in that is because there's a generative process, right? And I see a collaboration brewing here. I see it happening. There's a generative process that goes on. Let's take Bored Apes. With Bored Apes, some of them are wearing a different hat, different glasses, different furs, different whatever. And Bored Ape doesn't sit there and upload one picture at a time and say, we'll have one with a zombie fur and glasses. That will be number 645. No, they let the computer run it. They set the traits. They let the computer run it. If they didn't stop the computer at 10,000, they'd have billions or millions of combinations of Bored Apes, but they stop it at 10,000. The one of 10,000 is sort of special to me because the computer generated the random traits. I have a beautiful, I'll pull it up in a second when you're talking. I have a beautiful Bored Ape that's a pizza ape, but it's a sailor hat and it's a sailor shirt. The chances of matching a sailor hat and a sailor shirt in a generative project like Bored Ape, to me, I think is very hard. You know, so there's some element of the computer picking the images, the computer making the images, some element of randomness that I didn't mint to Bored Ape, but if I had, I would have went to their site, pressed my 0.08, and coming back would have been 1 out of 10,000. There could have been a chance that I won a gold ape. You know, it's like going to the store like when you were a kid and you were going to get a pack of baseball cards and you were hoping that you got the Cal Ripken or, you know, the Michael Jordan basketball card or whatever.
Do we need to explain this to August what baseball cards are? He just looks a little younger.
We could just say Charizard.
Fair enough.
There used to be these cardboard things, August, that people would trade. It still doesn't make sense to any of us, but you know,
Exactly.
we're really into JPEGs around here. So that's kind of my mentality, is that like the randomness makes it so cool. And to speak to August's project, Mirage Gallery Crypto Native, really what makes it so cool? Tell us how you so Bored Apes, we know they mix up the traits. August is loading in a set of images and then letting the computer determine, like, for example, the landscape. You load in thousands of landscape images, and then the computer uses machine learning to generate the landscape image. Right?
Yes. So it's definitely different from a more like a generative project. It's a different way of generating than the PFP style of doing it, or like the art block style of doing it. But yeah, for my project, pretty much what I do is I put together these data sets, normally somewhere between 8,000 and 12,000 images that I find from lots of different places and scrape things from here and take things from here and just put together these big data sets. And then I run an AI model on them. So it's training, and the AI model is just open source. So anyone can go and figure this out, but no one has my data set. So it's not going to be the same ones that I've done. Because that's kind of the difference is if you create your own data set, it's going to be something new, especially if you do things that haven't been done with how you create these data sets or what's in them. But then pretty much I'll train on these really big Amazon cloud computers to have the training done and not have it take a crazy amount of time. And then once these models train, once they're done training, and you can stop them from training at any point. It just depends on if you're happy with the outputs or not. And once you have one of those models, it can output an infinite number of pieces, which is kind of insane to just think about that. So what I did for my project with these different phases, I have 3 different styles: landscape, abstract, and digital. The majority of the ones on the screen there are digital style ones. The landscape ones are not as common, so they're a little bit pricier right now. So that's why they're not popping up right there at the bottom. But pretty much I have 3 different data sets. So I trained these models separately on 3 different data sets. And then as they're training, I'll take a snapshot of the model here, take a snapshot, and then let it train further, and then take snapshots again. And I do that 10 times. And then I have these 10 different phases for each of the styles. And with those phases, I can output the same seed or the same image, and it'll be the same image, but it's a different amount of training that it's had. So it looks slightly different. And that's why I'm saying the pieces are evolving through these different phases, which is kind of the fun thing. And then to have that happen when sales are happening.
don't both you guys don't oh my god, someone just wrote the Matic chart is juicy as F. Not financial advice. No one has to say yes right here, but how cool would it be hypothetically if you took these style of pictures that TJ does, these amazing pictures, if you loaded in these style of pictures and had the computer like recreate it, like what would happen?
Right. So yeah, I've done things. So for something like that, you would need the one barrier of entry for that is that I don't know how many you actually have, but that one's a 100 of them, which is not enough pretty much for it to get. I tried to do a data set. I was just playing with it of under 1,000 images and trained, and it did this issue called overfitting where it kind of just got chaotic and went to just like a solid colors stripes at the end, so it was not enough input for it to understand and look into. But every day people are continuing to work on creating these AI architectures that can do better with smaller data sets, because the data sets, that's the hard part, is to figure out your data set. So it's cool to see that things are now starting to do smaller data sets. But the smallest one that I've had success with was probably like 5,000 images or so.
There's not a one size fits all, but I think the point of what I was trying to illustrate to TJ, and boy, TJ is like, wow, what I wish, well, I'm not sharing my screen anymore. TJ is like, wow, I was just having a conversation this morning, and maybe I'm hoping you have a different perspective, but what I'm trying to illustrate to people is that by mixing the computers into the art, you make a whole new artistic element. In fact, I want to show one contract. Then this is let me pull up the crypto toads. I think every single person that wants to be cool in life in the NFT space and makes a contract should do this. Check this out. August, you should steal this too. Not steal. You should mimic, not steal. Mimic. Here we go. Ready? Look at the crypto toads contract. Crypto toads by Gremlin. By the way, while that's loading, just back to the Pizza 8. You see how the sour matches the sour? Beautiful. All right, let's go to a toad. Just load any toad. As I look at any project, this is how I do it. I look at about. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Nope, it's not about. It's details. Contract address. I think this is the coolest part of the NFT space, is that each piece of art has a contract and it comes from a contract. Don't we get how cool this is? Then we click on contract. Maybe I'm just a nerd. Samurai,
I think it's cool.
Look,
this is what gets me jacked. I will say that.
Look at this. Look at the beginning. Look at their contract. Look how cool their contract is. They put a toad in the beginning of their contract.
Is that done by Manifold? Because I remember them talking about kind of doing the ASCII art at the beginning of the contract.
To me, that is legendary.
It's legendary. It's legendary for a certain reason, right? It's legendary because they did something that most projects don't do. And it's they recognized deep down who their user base is, because they know for a fact their user base is coming to the contract, right? So why not advertise? It's like saying hello to the people who really care or who really know what they're doing, right? It's like a secret hand wave that the developers or the coders of the contract put in there. It's simple. It's not like that's actually a part of the code, I bet. I don't think that has any dictation of how things go.
No, it doesn't. It's a flex.
It's just a flex, but it's a flex for a very specific crowd. And you know who loves that? That fucking crowd. They love to see stuff like that. And I think that this is something that, if it isn't already, is going to become a standard practice for proper projects. If anything, what you could do is you could have projects that come out there that are intentionally rug pulls that will then put all this just jibber jabber copy code, and then in it, it'll be like, this is a rug pull. You should not buy this project. If you're looking at the contract or if you read anything in our Discord, you should know that. The Twitter page will have it. And then if anybody buys it, it's like, yo, you are the problem, right? You deserve to have your money given up because
You know what?
told you.
Some really cool and funny group. Obviously, they'll probably get in trouble, but some really cool and funny group at some point should do just that. They should be like, we're making 10 mints, 10 contracts, and it's up to you to read our contract and figure out which one's legit, and the other 9, like 1 out of the 10 of these contracts are going to pay some awesome royalty and do all this amazing stuff, and the other 9,
That's
we're
how
gonna
you
take your
recruit some really
NFT.
talented people.
Yeah,
Sniper bot, you know, in the same vein of the AI generative artwork and stuff like that, I was in a Twitter Spaces and a guy used my name to generate some artwork. And the interesting thing about this one is how it actually looks thematic. I just pinned a tweet on my profile from it. You can check out the OpenSea link to it. And so this image, and we all were talking about it in Spaces, how it looks like one of those unhatched eggs that people eat. I think they're called like Balut. Yeah. So that was made from my username. And so it looks remarkably like it, you know. And this was an AI generated image.
How do I
from
do
my
that?
username.
I want to write my username. Where do I go?
I don't know. This guy was in Spaces, and the Spaces host was like, "Use Veritas's name." He's like, "Throw that in there," and it came out wild.
Yo, I said this. I actually said this to August. I said this 2 days ago. It's so on trend. I said there was a project. I forget the name of it. I want to go find this guy. But there's a project that's doing that, similar to August. Not the same, but it's very much based around words. And you enter your words, and then you get the computer to generate the art. And I really feel like August, we got to figure out a way to incorporate something like that into the next.
Yeah,
generation.
something that I was thinking about. Fun future idea. Doing a project evolves and new buyers get to give an input, and it evolves towards that input.
Or it'd be cool if you could put an NFT you own, and then
Yeah.
the NFT you own, it generates an entirely separate AI version of it.
Yeah.
What if you
Actually-
had here's some alpha, right? We're about to design an NFT project right here. What if you had a project that was essentially a chessboard or a wall just flat on the ground, right? And then you could put in your piece where you wanted to. So you could buy your brick, decorate it, and then put it where you want to. And then it would almost be like you're adding to the overall project. And then once the final project is completed, it automatically mints and then airdrops a mint of that to everybody that contributed. Okay, cool.
Dude, you're blowing my brain here. I mean, honestly, we can
See,
keep
these
going.
are the conversations that August and I usually just have in the background with each other. We're just like talking shit, talking shop, right?
Exactly.
What I don't understand, Veritas, of what you sent me, the stuff's interesting, but there's no website. So it's not like I could go to their website and type my name in. They're missing out.
No,
on
the guy was doing them live in Spaces.
Go to the Twitter page, and they do have a website. It's literally right there. You hovered over it.
No, but it was he clicked on it, went to a GoDaddy thing. But no, I don't, you know, I have no stake in this project. I haven't bought anything from them, but I just thought it was cool, and it was totally in the same AI thing where the guy was in Twitter Spaces just like saying, "All right, guys, give me a word," and then the guy, you know, I was speaking in the space. He's like, "Use Veritas's username," and that's how that one got created.
If you check the private chat, there was a project Eponym that kind of took off yesterday. Yeah. But they're all minted out. So
yeah, of course we missed it.
I actually have one of those. No, we didn't miss it because I got one. You want me to share my wallet?
Sure.
Yeah, here. It doesn't let me share. Let me share my screen.
This computer's a little slow, a little slow. What's your OpenSea name?
My OpenSea name is Samurai McKeon, just like my thing. I'm sharing screen. I'll just let you look it up. Yeah.
I don't know if you could share your screen so quickly.
Yeah, it's not really letting it do it. But yeah, just go to OpenSea and go to Samurai McKeon, and it should pop up. But I have an eponym, and I bought one. I bought one of the only ones that had an emoji as the name. That was what a lot of people. Some people thought to like put numbers in there. I'm surprised that nobody thought to put 888 in there. I'm really kind of pissed off about that because they could have very easily sold that to him.
I saw some people doing like somebody did Art Chick, somebody did Steve Aoki.
Yeah, so scroll right there, that very first one on the left-hand side.
Wait, My computer's gonna die. Oh, this thing?
Yeah, that's my eponym.
Diamond hands?
I didn't make it. Somebody else made it and made it with the diamond hands one, but I couldn't see very many, if any, at all that had emojis as the name.
So how much did you buy it for?
Look at my price history.
I will. I'm trying to.
It's all on the chain, bro.
You gotta scroll down 6 clicks. You got like a half a click downwards to see what I bought it for. 0.32.
Oh my God, you are rich. That's awesome. Congrats, man.
Thank you. I'm gonna hold on to that
Looks
one.
cool.
It definitely looks cool. So let's go see the floor.
Yeah, floor is 0.29 right now, but I got the diamond hands emoji.
So these are all going to be different then, and you guys put in emojis, and then it generated the images based.
Yeah,
on
actually, yeah. There's some really weird ones.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah.
Keyboard warrior. Have you guys ever heard me type? How fast I could go?
I'm faster than you, bro.
Yo, let's have a typing test right now.
I can do it. Let's do it on the website. I'm at 115. Where are you at?
I think we'll break the. You're not at 115.
I'm at
Yeah, bro. I'm at 115.
Let's second.
Let's burn it down right now, man. I'm at 115. I'll smoke you, bro.
Let's do it. But how do we all do it at the same time? Let's conclude with the typing test.
I'll send you a link where we can do it right now. It's on this website because I try and do these competitions with people at my work all the time and just roll on them.
I just want to make sure it's legit because I'm gonna.
It's a live site and you can do a 10-second typing test. Let me find it. It's cool as hell.
Seconds. I mean,
it's a quick one. You know, it could be a 20-second. They got all different ones.
I feel like this is metaverse arm wrestling. this is the version of digital foot race. Like, I'll beat you, bro. I used to run track.
This is when the nerds have taken over.
Yeah, dude.
It's called monkeytype.com.
And we can get into the same group.
We can't do it in the same group. We'll all just
honor system.
Or we can tweet a screenshot of our results to
if you like
Sniper Bot.
If you enjoy your results. All right, let's go.
I'm not gonna embarrass myself.
Yeah, I'm not a fast typer. I failed keyboarding.
If I actually lose, I'd be
The
shocked.
quick brown fox jumps
all
over
right,
the lazy dog.
tell me, pull it up, and then tell me when we're gonna start.
I think we should go to the 30 seconds. Seem to be okay.
30 second. All right. Yeah, I'm on 30 second right now.
Does it have to be 100%
I
accurate?
just got a.
No, it doesn't. They grade you on the accuracy.
No, so do you go back? Do you don't back up and stuff?
No, you can't. No, you just keep going forward. I think.
I would like to say that you have to be 100% accurate.
Well, let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens.
I'm playing for accuracy, so if I mess up, I'm going back. Like,
But
if
they
post a
grade you
score
on
that-
accuracy. So I think you
let's
can
see.
fix it, but they grade you on accuracy.
This is the one that counts. Ready? 3.
All right, ready?
2, 1, go.
All right, so for everybody that's not nerding out about typing, how y'all doing?
Doing all right.
Yeah, TJ, Buffet. You guys like animal crackers?
I do. It's been a minute though.
Animal crackers are still fire. I just pulled these out of the freezer.
What about the frosted ones?
Oh man, I don't know that I can handle that much sugar.
I
Those
just
are
did the. I just did the typing thing. I got 117.
Oh my God, Austin doesn't count. He's younger than us. No way. Let's see how Veritas did.
I got
Nice job.
90. I got 91 raw. I didn't have a good one. I was nervous.
What about your accuracy?
Accuracy 92.
So, and what about your accuracy, August?
I got 117, and then I got 95%.
Oh, all right. He smoked us, killed us.
Woo!
Wow. So
Winner,
Typing
chicken dinner.
prodigy over here. He's got a code, so he's got blah 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 blah. Get that shit out there.
All right, so August obviously is the winner. Let's play for second. You ready? Last
All
time.
right, let's do this.
What the
One more
heck?
time.
Come on, I bet the audience
Go.
loves this.
Ready, set, go.
Exactly.
I got reset. That doesn't
I like the
count.
Animal Cracker NFT idea. How about Animal Cracker comes out halfway through? You can decide if you want to frost it. After that, you can decide if you want to eat it.
What if you had an animal cracker or like a cookie or like a gummy bear. And you know how people always eat the head off a gummy bear or they split it in half? What if you could pick how you get to eat it?
Yes.
Or if
How
you eat
you
it.
eat. Mm-hmm.
All right,
While they're
96 at 90.
Oreo comes out
100 at
with
99%.
Ah, damn
you know,
it.
the cookie and then the filling, and you got to have two of them, and you got to have them in your wallet like that next to each other or something.
Oh,
be kinda
yeah.
cool
You
if
could
the
make an
police-
Oreo. There's a lot of shit you can do with cookies and food stuff.
This is a really good idea. August, can you do something? And I know the answer is yes because you're fucking brilliant and you can make it happen. But could you make something to where the orientation of the NFTs in your wallet was some sort of game?
What do you mean, like orientation?
Look at look at OpenSea and just pull up
Okay.
your wallet and look at your items, right?
I'll pull up
Imagine
Samurai.
Imagine if your NFTs were just pixels,
Mm-hmm.
and in those pixels, you could just have a game being played amongst them.
Yeah, I guess that. I guess that'd be cool because I guess on OpenSea for the ones you have, you can switch pretty much the order that they're in though by those filters, right?
Mm-hmm.
I actually have even a crazier idea than that. Remember that game Zork? It was just a text game when we were kids. We weren't even August
No.
wasn't even born.
What is
No one
Zork? Zork?
Yeah, Zork. It's like
Oh,
you remember
I
the game
that.
that what's his name was playing in the movie Big, or like what Matthew Broderick was playing. Like you just text to a computer. Let's just say here Zork picture.
Dude, this came out in the 70s. That is a long
Okay,
time
calm
ago.
down. Yeah, but we don't have the greatest technology. We need to work with text-based shit.
I'm just
Sniperbot is
I'm just
8-bit.
saying. Yeah, I was gonna say Sniperbot. Oh man.
I wasn't even alive then. Don't worry.
We were okay.
Look how this thing look platform. It's a wide flat strip platform. Blah, blah, blah. The game like talks to you one word at a time. I think what my question is based on what Samurai says is like, could you imagine a black screen just like that loot thing, right? Like it looks like this, right?
What?
This is an open field. The rubber mat says "Welcome to Zork." Da, 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 da. Right? Let's just pretend that's the NFT, and in order to get to the next like set of words, the next evolution of it, you got to pay gas and like write your command on a web-based system. And then after you go to the web-based system, pay your gas, write your command, it changes the NFT and the metadata that's sitting in your OpenSea. And you're interacting with a word-based game on a website that every time you interact with it, it evolves and changes the output of the game into your NFT.
Sterling Crispin is kind of doing something like that, where you can type in messages. Sterling Crispin.
Can you spell that?
STERLING CRISPIN, I think. But he's doing an NFT called like Messages or something like that, where basically I don't know much about it, but you can the NFT you can write and leave messages on the NFT. Anybody can, and you can decide to turn off.
No. That was my idea. Remember? I'm not even kidding. I'm not saying like he took my idea. Everybody has the same idea.
Yeah, I don't
remember
know
we
where it
talked
came
about
from.
this, Samurai? That was like first thing I wanted to talk to August about, but August was, is into his art, which is fine. I'm just saying, August, is that all this stuff possible? The game thing that I described?
I think you could do something like that. I feel like all of this stuff is possible with enough time.
Time or money. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
I think it's just time, actually. We all
a
have
little bit
money
of both.
now.
Oh, come on, Sniper. When have you ever not had to spend money to get some good stuff in life?
But you could
No,
swap
tell you-
it out. If you don't have the time,
Money
you
is
can pay
fine.
for someone else's.
But the space is moving so quickly. So if you have an idea like this, you got to move on it quickly.
Hey, there's 6 of us in here and a bunch of people watching the video right now. I want to know how many of you feel like the last 2 weeks has lasted 2 months.
I don't even know what day
God.
of the week it is anymore.
Have you all experienced the same bizarre time dilation that I have?
Yeah, unquestionably, especially because like, we were, trying to like ramp up for our project drop and stuff like that, which we've been planning for months. And, all the days leading up before the marketing felt fast. Like we're trying to like get ahead of how fast things are going. And then like while doing the giveaways and stuff like that, like was just insufferably slow. And like, I think it has a lot to do with just the volume of work that Taylor and I were putting in, and just like working 40 hours a day at my job, coming home, working at least 8 hours, in the Discord, in Twitter Spaces, making sure that everything is buttoned up with our smart contract, talking to our community. Like, I feel like I've lived two lives at the same exact time. And so because of that, it's like the sheer volume of my memories has just gone like huge. And that's what makes it feel like the time dilation is there.
Yep.
I found
Yeah,
this
I feel all
Sterling.
that.
Yeah, I love this. Whatever this is, I'm going to buy every single part of this. I love this concept. I'm going to get in touch with this guy, and I want to be friends with him. I love it. Thank you
Yeah,
so much, TJ. I'm very into this concept. The tech-based stuff is like very interesting to me.
I noticed that you guys quickly glossed over some of the things in my NFT wallet. Nobody said anything about the lovely pictures.
I like that good morning thing. Talk to me about the good morning thing? That seems
Oh,
to be a very,
Crypto Jeweler. Yo, shout out to Crypto Jeweler. I'm gonna tag him I'm gonna share this video. I'm gonna tag him.
I got to go
Crypto
back.
Jeweler is an individual who's really trying to create the luxury items of the metaverse, right? And I think that as we
Luxury
begin to
items in the metaverse. You know, I like that.
I'm telling you, this is going to be the stuff that you import into any game or whatever because he provides the access to it. And then bam, you're rocking a good morning, say it back chain right across your guy's neck in whatever, I'm going to have
I like
on
that.
God,
I
I'm going to
want
have
that.
this in Leaped In, dude. This is going to, in Leap In, this is going to be my items for sure. I got the GM say it back.
That's awesome.
It's so good. I love the
Why don't
probably nothing
why
one.
don't you ask the leaping guys if that just like is like an extra accessory that goes onto your avatar?
Oh, I already asked them that when we had our deep dive conversation behind the scenes with Chibis. That was one of the questions I asked. I was like, "What's the functionality and the versatility of item implementation in importing?" And they said near limitless. We just need to kind of have a foundational shape for it. And if it's whether it's a character item that they wear or it's something that they can wield, right? Because those kind of things can be different. If it's just a character item, then it's just a piece of the model and it can just like interact and just bounce. Whereas if it's an actual item, they use it and it interacts with the rest of the world on the outside. So it could be one or the other. But having stuff like this is the stuff that I think is going to. It's these little flexes, right? These little ones. I actually had him do a rendering of this in 2D to match up with with one of my characters on my profile picture. So my profile picture, Meerkat for Solana, is wearing that. I want to get it on my Chibi Ape. So I send that over to Fabs and have him put that on one of my Chibis.
Okay, last thing I'm going to leave you with. Here's my alpha of the day. I think we're going to see a lot of this going on. Okay. Sorry, did I pull up? I did pull up your thing. I don't even know what you want to call this, Samurai. We're going to name it right here because we're going down as, the people that are naming it. But see this thing, 10KTF. I love this project, 10KTF. I don't know what it's called, but I think you call it like a derivative reward. If you owned an ape, you could make this backpack for 5 cents, right? You could also do shoes or whatever at some time. They also had dogs. I could do dogs. I could do World of Women. I could do a bunch of stuff. Because I own these things, there was also an airdrop. Not this. This cloth is worth nothing. But they airdropped me something that was worth 3 ETH. So I sold it. I was like,
what?
Fuck. Yeah, dude. A long-ass tape was worth 3 ETH. I sold that fucking thing. They were only like 150 of 10,000. And I was like, dude, I don't even know what it is or what it does. And I have 3 ETH. But how cool does it start with that? Because I owned an ape, I was able to make something special.
That's exactly. Go ahead. I want to cut you off.
Like, look, this thing. I got this long ass tape measure, which was the best airdrop of it all, because I had 2 backpacks. I had 2 shots, and one of them got me this long ass tape measure.
What are
So
you
I fucking
sharing? I
sold
don't
it.
see it. I don't
Oh,
see
not
you
sure.
sharing your screen.
Oh, I thought I was sharing this whole time.
Sniper Bot. That's just like the Mars Cat Voyage, which is a project that I love and that I bought into. I thought their idea about sub 3K mints getting a spacesuit was super cool. And the way that they set it up was that you could put the spacesuit on your cat and generate a new NFT with your cat in a spacesuit, or you could sell the spacesuit to someone that had a greater than 3K NFT. And the cool thing about that, I think, is if you got a non-rare sub 3K, somebody that had a rare one after 3K would want a spacesuit for it. So that
I'm
really,
having FOMO. I'm having
yeah.
FOMO. Do I need a
So,
Mars Cat Voyage? How do I do
bro,
this?
listen to this. You're going to FOMO even harder after this. After they did the spacesuits for theirs, they connected with Bored Ape Yacht Club and did a spacesuit. So if you own a Bored Ape,
I
you
saw
can
that.
mint a spacesuit for your ape.
How do I
And
do
I
that?
think I'm not sure how they do it. I'm not an ape owner, but I think that sort of idea with the cross collaboration on some of their cool NFTs, where you're taking 2 separate NFT projects and applying a cool aspect of yours to an NFT that somebody else already owns, is brilliance in marketing. That's the stuff that I'm here for. I love to see it.
I love that. Yeah, I think I'm calling that, until someone has a better name, a derivative reward airdrop or derivative word message. I don't know. You come up with a better word, please. Guys, almost up on an hour and a half. This was awesome. Thank you, everybody, for being a part of this. We'll see some familiar faces around. We'll go to spaces. Now it's a lot more. I feel like this is a little bit more formal being on YouTube, because we get to show our faces and stuff, and it lives on forever. Now we'll probably keep it going on spaces, and then it's just like a kicking it, see what goes on, So
Yeah.
thank you very much. Let's
Sounds
just do one
good.
more shout out. TJ, TJ on everybody should have everybody's Twitter on here, right? Is that being displayed or no?
I guess that's the upside to spaces. It is easier to do that.
Follow somebody's
Wow.
Twitter. 'Cause it's
Yeah.
on Twitter.
Yeah, it's like, how am I supposed to click? Can I just click on your face? How do I do this? I feel like a grandpa.
Oh, stop it.
I'm trying to follow you, Buffet. I can't. I'm clicking on your beautiful face. It won't let me follow you.
button? I
can't
click it.
Where's Martha, why are these people on my screen?
I'm just gonna delete it.
I'm posting everybody's Twitter here.
just gonna unplug my computer.
And then what I'd say is, please follow and subscribe to this channel so you get alerts. I randomly go on all the time, and planning. We're working on planning and getting a little bit more organized, but look at the title of the stream. Yes, everybody
Organizing, getting organized.
That's I said today on a call today. I'm so short of sleep. I said to someone, I'm relevant because I'm relevant. I was like, the guy's like, you just said you're relevant because you're relevant. I was like, yes. That is true, though. I am relevant because I am relevant.
Sniperbot, I promised my co-founder that I would show off the 4-foot picture he got us from our artwork. If you guys don't mind me showing that off here one last time. It's right behind me.
We can't see it, though.
I'm gonna bring it up.
Oh,
Oh, I can see it. I see it. Yep. Yo, let's go.
yeah. This is a proud owner. They spent their life savings on giveaways. They make art. He's like, do you know what my wife would do if I brought home art like that? She'd kill me.
You guys got to look at the I think the physical stuff is so great. I don't remember when it was a few days ago. On my Twitter, you can see I got 2 big canvas physical prints of some of the pieces, the AI pieces. I'd show you, but they're right up here in front of me. But it's definitely pretty cool to have them printed.
Here's
out.
my IRL gutter cat shit I just got in the mail.
Buffet,
Nice.
I saw you post that. I was
I'm so jealous for those. I'm so jealous. I didn't do those, and I just feel like a loser.
Yeah, I like I mean, the stuff is internet native, but I love bringing it into my real life because I live in the physical world. So I want to see it on my physical clothes. I want my rat hangs up in my kitchen. I gotta, you know what I mean? So like, I love all this stuff. I love art. So my extension of my love of art just went from the physical world to the digital world, but it's coming back out, and I'm gonna enjoy it in the physical world at all. So I want to see that stuff on my wall.
Dude, that's so fire.
Yeah, that was like, I was really amped. He came over and surprised me with that 4-foot piece of that awesome environment with our 2 PFPs in it and stuff. And I can't wait to get that hung up right above my workstation here.
I love it. That looks sick.
Nice, man.
Thanks,
Well,
man.
To everybody on whatever mission you're on, just keep grinding, and we'll all keep learning from each other. And I want to thank you all for your time. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having me. Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks, y'all.
See you guys soon.
Guys. See ya.
Later.